Hello, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something straight up. When it comes to relationships, the biggest mistake most women make is thinking that being available all the time is the key to keeping a man. That's not how it works. A man doesn't miss what he can always reach. If you're sitting by the phone, waiting for his text, always there when he calls, always saying yes to his every little request, you're not making him miss you. You're making yourself ordinary. And ordinary never gets missed. What makes a man miss you 50 times more is not about games. It's about value, confidence, and knowing how to carry yourself in a way that makes him crave your presence. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that's going to change the way you see relationships forever. A man never truly misses what he can reach every second of the day. That's just the truth. Think about it like this. When you've got water coming out the tap every time you turn the handle, you don't think about water. You don't wake up in the middle of the night longing for water because you know it's right there. But if you are ever in a desert, thirsty, with nothing around you, suddenly water becomes the most valuable thing in the world. That's how it works with people too. When you're too available, when you're always saying yes, when you're always ready to jump at his call, you turn yourself into tap water. But if you step back, if you create space, if you let him feel your absence, you turn into the water in the desert. Something so rare, so precious, something he'll crave and long for. That's what makes a man miss you 50 times more. See, a lot of women confuse love with availability. You think being there 24/7 proves how much you care. But what it really does is strip the mystery, strip the curiosity, strip the longing. When you always around, he doesn't get the chance to wonder about you. He doesn't get to ask himself, where is she? What's she doing? Who's she with? And ladies, let me tell you, that question right there, that curiosity is the beginning of missing someone. A man starts to miss you the moment he doesn't know your every move, the moment he doesn't have full access to your time, the moment he realizes your world doesn't spin around him. That's when he starts to think, wait a minute, maybe she's out there doing something without me. That little thought grows and grows until it turns into missing. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying play games or act cold. I'm not saying disappear just to get attention. That's manipulation, and manipulation never builds love. What I'm talking about is have enough self-respect and self-value to not give yourself away so cheaply. Because, ladies, the truth is this. Men value what they have to earn. Men miss what they can't completely have at their fingertips. And when you learn to create that healthy space, when you stop answering every call on the first ring, when you stop dropping your whole schedule just to meet his, you send a powerful message. My time is valuable. My life is full. And if you want me, you're going to have to show me you're worth it. That's when a man steps up, because suddenly he's not sure if he's the priority. Suddenly he feels that gap, that distance, and in that distance is where missing takes root. Think about the last time you lost something for a little while. Your favorite shirt, your phone, your car keys. You didn't think about those things every single day when they were always right there. But the moment they weren't in your hand, the moment you couldn't find them, suddenly that was all you could think about. You were tearing the house apart looking for those keys. You going through the laundry, searching for that shirt. It consumed your thoughts. That's how men are. If you're always there, he doesn't realize the value. But when you pull back, when he can't reach you like before, suddenly all he can do is think about you. That's when missing you becomes a powerful force. Creative space isn't about punishment, it's about perspective. It allows him to see clearly what he has. Because here's another truth. Men are wired to hunt, to chase, to pursue. When there's no chase, when there's no effort, when everything is handed over on a silver platter, their appreciation goes down. But when you create that little bit of distance, when you make him wonder, when you let him chase, you actually feeding into his natural instincts. And trust me, a man who's chasing is a man who's invested. And a man who's invested is a man who misses you when you're not there. Now, I know some of you are thinking, Steve, but if I don't answer him, won't he think I don't care? If I don't make myself available, won't he just lose interest? And let me answer that right now. If a man loses interest because you didn't jump the second he called, that man was never serious about you in the first place. A man who truly values you will respect the fact that you have your own life. He'll admire your independence. He'll appreciate your priorities. And in that appreciation, he'll miss you when you're not around because he knows you're not sitting there waiting on him. You're out there living, growing, shining, and men miss women who shine. Here's something else. Silence is powerful. You don't always have to respond right away. You don't always have to fill every gap in conversation. You don't always have to be the one reaching out first. Let that man sit in the silence for a moment. Let him feel what it's like without your good morning text, without your laughter on the phone, without your presence. That silence will echo in his mind. That silence will turn into a longing, and that longing will make him appreciate you more than constant noise ever could. So ladies, remember this. Distance doesn't destroy real connections, it deepens them. When a man feels your absence, he learns to value your presence. When he doesn't have you every second, he realizes how much he wants you. And when you stop being tap water and start being the water in the desert, that's when he misses you. Not just once or twice, but 50 times more than you ever thought possible. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest mistakes I see women make is putting their whole life on pause for a man. You meet him, you like him, and before you know it, your world starts revolving around him. You're canceling plans, you're neglecting your dreams, you're giving him all of your attention, all of your time, and all of your energy. And at first you might think that's love. You think you're showing him how much you care. But let me tell you what a man really sees. He sees someone who has forgotten her own shine. Someone who's handed over her entire identity. Someone who's made him the center of her world. And when you do that, you rob him of the very thing that would make him miss you. Your uniqueness, your independence, your glow. Because a man doesn't miss a woman who's always sitting by the phone waiting. He misses the woman who has her own life, her own goals, her own passions, her own joy. That's the woman he's afraid to lose. That's the woman who makes him realize he's got something rare, something valuable, something worth chasing. See, men are competitive by nature. They like to win. They like to feel like they've got a prize that other men would kill for. And the only way a man feels that is if you're living a life so beautiful, so full, so attractive, that he looks at you and says, if I don't handle my business, if I don't step up, I could lose her to somebody else. That's what makes him miss you more. He's not just missing your body, your presence, or your attention. He's missing the energy of a woman who's thriving, who's not dependent on him for her happiness, who's already winning in her own right. Ladies, when I say build a full life, I mean fill your schedule with things that feed your soul. Go after your career with ambition. Spend time with your family. Travel with your girlfriends. Hit the gym. Learn new skills. Pick up hobbies. Volunteer. Read books. Dance. Laugh. Live. Because when your life is rich, when you're walking in purpose, when you're shining from the inside out, you become magnetic. And let me tell you something. When a man sees that, when he notices you don't have to depend on him to feel complete, it flips a switch inside of him. Suddenly he realizes he can't take you for granted. Suddenly he understands that you are the kind of woman other men dream about. And that understanding creates a fear of loss. And let me tell you, Nothing makes a man miss you more than the thought of losing you. A man misses you more. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're saying, Steve, but if I get too busy, won't he think I don't care? Won't he feel ignored? Now, let me stop you right there. A good man will not be turned off by your independence. He'll be drawn to it. He'll respect it. He'll admire the fact that you've got your own thing going. Because deep down, a man doesn't want to be your everything. He wants to be your partner. He wants to add to your life, not be your whole life. When you make him your entire world, you put pressure on him that he can't live up to. But when you build your own world and let him be part of it, that's when the relationship flourishes. That's when he misses you when you're not around, because he sees how bright your world is without him, and that makes him want to be in it even more. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine two women. The first one drops everything whenever he calls. She cancels her plans. She makes herself available. She's always waiting. The second one tells him, I'd love to see you, but I've got yoga tonight, maybe tomorrow. Or she says, I'm going out with my girls this weekend, but I'll call you when I get back. Now, which one do you think he's going to miss more? The one who's always there, or the one who's living her life and making him earn a place in it? You already know the answer. Men value what they can't take for granted. And when your life is full, he can't take you for granted. Another thing you have to understand is that when you build a rich life, you naturally raise your standards. You start to see yourself as the prize. You start to realize, I don't need a man to make me whole. I am already whole. I want a man who compliments me, not completes me. And when you carry yourself like that, a man feels it. He feels that energy, and it drives him crazy, because men are drawn to women who know their worth. Men miss women who stand in their value. When you stop begging for attention, when you stop waiting for validation, when you stop chasing, you put yourself in a position of power, and power is attractive. Power is unforgettable. Power is what makes them miss you when you're gone. Ladies, let me be real with you. Men aren't sitting around missing women who gave up everything for them. They're not losing sleep over the woman who was always available. They're not longing for the woman who forgot about herself just to please him. No, they're missing the woman who lit up a room when she walked in. They're missing the woman who had ambition in her eyes, laughter in her voice, confidence in her walk. They're missing the woman who had her own life, her own friends, her own dreams, her own joy, because that woman is rare. That woman is valuable. That woman is unforgettable. So the secret to making a man miss you 50 times more is not about texting less or playing hard to get. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. It's about building a life so rich and so attractive that he knows he'd be a fool to lose you. And once he realizes that, once he sees you're not waiting on him, that's when the missing begins. That's when he feels your absence deeply. That's when he starts to chase. And trust me, ladies, when a man knows he can lose something extraordinary, he won't just miss you. He'll fight to keep you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me break something down for you. A man doesn't miss you just because you're gone. He misses you when you leave behind something he can't get anywhere else. That's the real secret. A man can spend time with a lot of people, but very few will leave a mark so deep that he thinks about them long after they walk away. If you want to make a man miss you 50 times more, you've got to become unforgettable. Not by pretending, not by playing games, but by being so genuine, so powerful in your presence, so authentic in your energy that you leave fingerprints on his soul. See, a man may forget what you wore. He may forget what you said word for word, but he will never forget how you made him feel. If the feeling you bring is rare, trust me, he's going to miss you like crazy the moment you're not there. Hip-hop's life. And he's not going to change it. Here we go. And now when I say unforgettable, I don't mean being dramatic or over the top. I'm not talking about trying to perform or putting on an act to impress him. I'm talking about being fully yourself, walking in your light, owning your energy, and carrying yourself in a way that lingers. Think about laughter. The right kind of laugh can echo in someone's head for days. The way you light up when you're passionate about something can replay in his mind over and over. The kindness you show to people, the way you treat others, the way you carry yourself with grace, that's what sticks. That's what makes a man miss you, because he can't find it with anyone else. Ladies, a man misses what he can't replace. And the truth is, there are plenty of women out there who are beautiful, plenty who are attractive, plenty who can catch his eye. But beauty alone doesn't make you unforgettable. What makes you unforgettable is your essence. It's the way you combine confidence with kindness, strength with softness, independence with warmth. That balance, that rare combination is what a man will never stop thinking about. You see, when a man leaves your presence and finds himself comparing every other woman to you, that's when you know you've left a mark. And the more he compares, the more he realizes, man, I can't find her anywhere else. That's when missing turns into obsession. Think about music. There are some songs you hear that are catchy for a moment and then they fade away. But there are other songs that stick with you forever. Songs that take you back to a moment, a feeling, a memory. That's what you want to be. The song he can't get out of his head. The memory that plays when he's alone. The energy that lingers in his heart. You do that by being real, by being joyful, by bringing value into his life that goes beyond looks or convenience. You do it by showing him something deeper, something lasting, something spiritual even. Because once you connect with a man on that level, he will miss you in a way he can't explain. Another thing that makes you unforgettable is authenticity. Ladies, don't underestimate how rare it is for someone to be completely genuine in today's world. So many people are out here pretending, trying to be something they're not, putting on a mask just to impress somebody. But when you are fully yourself, when you laugh freely, when you speak your truth, when you let your personality shine, he notices and he remembers. He may meet plenty of women who say the right things, but very few who make him feel comfortable, safe, inspired, and challenged at the same time. That's the kind of woman who sticks in a man's head. That's the kind of woman he misses when the room is quiet, when the crowd is gone, when it's just him and his thoughts. And let me tell you something else. Unforgettable doesn't mean perfect. In fact, it's your little quirks, your unique ways, your realness that make you memorable. Maybe it's the way you tell a story with so much passion that he can't stop watching you. Maybe it's the way you dance when your favorite song comes on, carefree and joyful. Maybe it's the way you always find a way to make someone feel seen and appreciated. Those small things, that's what leaves an impression. That's what he can't shake off. That's what makes him miss you far more than anything else. Now, don't confuse being unforgettable with trying too hard. If you're out here trying to prove your worth, trying to perform for his attention, that's not going to work. Real impact doesn't come from chasing or convincing. It comes from confidence. It comes from knowing who you are, knowing what you bring to the table, and not being afraid to shine. When you walk in a room with that kind of energy, you don't even have to fight for attention. It naturally comes to you. And when you leave, that silence feels heavy. That's when he realizes, man, I miss her already. Ladies, think about the strongest relationships you've ever had. Not just romantic, but friendships too. The people you miss the most are the ones who made you feel something rare. The ones who uplifted you, who inspired you, who made you laugh until your stomach hurt, who believed in you when you didn't believe in yourself. That's the same dynamic in romantic relationships. If you're the woman who makes him feel alive, makes him laugh, makes him grow, makes him feel like he's with someone extraordinary, he's not going to forget you. He's going to miss you deeply because nothing else will compare. But remember, making a man miss you isn't just about absence, it's about presence. It's about the kind of presence that lingers long after you've walked out of the room. It's about the way your energy, your laughter, your authenticity, your kindness, your confidence, all of it wraps around him and stays even when you're gone. That's how you make him miss you 50 times more. Because while anybody can be around, not everybody can leave a mark. And if you leave that mark, trust me, he's going to think about you constantly. He'll hear your laugh when it's quiet. He'll replay your words when he's alone. He'll miss you in ways he can't even explain. And that's when you know you've become unforgettable. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real clear. Men are wired to chase. That's in our DNA. From the beginning of time, men have been hunters. They go out, they pursue, they conquer, they earn. That's how a man is built. But when a woman flips the script and becomes the one doing all the chasing, all the proving, all the running after him, he no longer feels the need to fight for her. He no longer values her presence the same way, and he definitely doesn't miss her the way he should. Because here's the truth. A man doesn't miss what's chasing him. A man misses what he has to chase, what he has to work for, what he has to earn. And the moment you stop handing yourself over freely, the moment you lean back and let him put in the effort, that's when he starts to miss you 50 times more. See, a lot of women think that by chasing a man, they're showing love. They think that by calling all the time, texting all the time, bending over backward, they're proving their loyalty. But ladies, that's not love. That's desperation. And men can smell desperation a mile away. A desperate woman will never be truly valued because she's already shown she doesn't value herself enough to wait and receive. When you chase a man, you strip him of his natural role. You take away his instinct to pursue, to prove, to earn. And the second you take that away, he loses interest, he doesn't appreciate it, he doesn't respect it, and he sure doesn't miss it. But when you stop chasing, when you stand in your worth, when you let him do the running, suddenly he feels something he hasn't felt before. Desire, urgency, hunger. He starts to miss you because now he realizes you're not guaranteed. Let me put it like this. Imagine you walk into a store. There's something you like sitting right there on the clearance rack. It's cheap, it's easy, it's available. Do you value it much? No. You might grab it, you might wear it once, and then you forget about it. But imagine you walk into that same store and you see something in a glass case. It's valuable, it's rare, it's protected. You can't just grab it, you got to ask for it. You got to prove you can afford it. You got to put in effort. Suddenly that thing means more to you. Suddenly you're invested. That's how men operate. When you chase him, you're the clearance rack. But when you lean back and let him chase you, you're the prize in the glass case. And trust me, a man doesn't forget the prize. He misses it, he craves it. He'll go home thinking about how to come back for it. Now, I know some of you are saying, but Steve, if I don't call him, if I don't show interest, won't he think I don't care? And let me answer that. There's a difference between showing interest and chasing. Showing interest is letting him know you appreciate his effort. Showing interest is smiling at him, laughing with him, giving him time when he earns it. That's fine. But chasing is when you flip it and do all the work for him. Chasing is when you're blowing up his phone, rearranging your life, begging for his attention. That's the line you can't cross. Because the second you do, you rob him of the very thing that makes him miss you. Effort. A man who has to put in effort is a man who's invested. And a man who's invested is a man who's thinking about you when you gone. Lady, stop doing his job. Stop rescuing him from putting in effort. Stop making excuses for why he's not chasing you. If he wants you, he will come get you. If he values you, he will make it known. If he's serious, he will pursue you. And when you give him the space to do that, when you stop chasing, that's when the magic happens. That's when he lies awake at night thinking about you. That's when he hears a song and it reminds him of you. That's when he starts to miss you with every part of his being, because he knows he's got to keep earning you. And let me make this clear. This isn't about playing games. This isn't about pretending you don't care or acting cold just to manipulate him. No, this is about standing in your truth, knowing your worth, and refusing to lower your standards. Because when you know your value, you don't run after anybody. You let them come to you, and when they do, you decide if they're worthy. That's the mindset that makes a man miss you, because he knows you're not like everybody else. He knows you're not out here desperate. He knows you're not going to hand yourself over for nothing, and that makes him value every second he gets with you. Think about the strongest love stories you've ever heard. They're never about someone who begged, who chased, who pleaded. They're about someone who stood strong, who knew their worth, who let the other person rise up and meet their standards. That's how great relationships are built. That's how true love grows. And that's how a man comes to miss you so deeply that he'll move mountains just to be with you again. So ladies, let the man do the pursuing. Don't be afraid of the silence. Don't be afraid of the space. That's where missing grows. That's where desire builds. That's where respect forms. And when you let him chase, when you make him earn your time, your love, your energy, that's when you become unforgettable. That's when he misses you not just a little, but 50 times more.